I hope everyone had a wonderful Father's Day. I know that I did. And what's up next? July 4th is the next kind of holiday, unless you have some birthdays, family members with birthdays and whatnot. So cool. Yeah, some great stuff to feature. Oh, speaking of Father's Day, this hat that I'm wearing, my wife and kids got me this cool hat for Father's Day. That is Mr. Met. I'm a big fan of the New York City Mets, the Metropolitans baseball team. Anyway, so she got me this cool hat, so I will be wearing it for the rest of the day and the week to show my gratitude. Thank you so much, wife and children. Okay, I guess first, let me just first talk about the brush. So I mentioned in my last video that I was going to do my first ever attempt at gluing a knot into a handle, and I did. And here's the brush. You can see it right here. The reason I picked this particular brush, or this knot rather, is because it's purple. I thought that was really cool. A long time ago I saw like a green or a red or a purple knot, and I thought to myself, I want a colored knot, which they can do with synthetic. Anyways, so I did that. I purchased a knot. The brand is Oumo. I hope I'm saying it. O-U-M-O, Oumo. Anyways, I actually had heard of this brand, and I've seen some of their brushes before, but that's the knot. And then the handle was just a cheap one I found. I think it's DS Cosmetic. I think it was like $5. Like, all in all, I only spent like $15 or so on this whole setup. $12, $15. That way, if I kind of screwed it up, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. I do apologize. I took video. You can see it here. It's not the greatest video. I was really hoping for some better quality video. I guess I'm good at shooting shave videos, but not so much not gluing videos. But I basically just used Loctite brand epoxy. I had a couple of washers, plastic washers that I dropped in there, and there's better videos out there on how to glue a knot, but it worked. I did maybe use a little too much epoxy, a little bit seeped out over the edge, but it's not that big a deal. It still performs really well. So that's the brush. I'll be using that in my DS Cosmetic bowl, the one I featured in the last video. It's this yellow bowl. Really liking this bowl. Gives me some great lather. It's right up there with the Timeless bowl, no joke. As far as the soap that I'll be using in that bowl and brush combo is Boat Drinks by Stirling Soap Company. I've taped a label here to the top of a container. This is a sample that I got, and of course it's very tropical. It's summertime. Boat Drinks, right? But this is a sample that I got, and you can see it down here in this little container. I actually cut it up into little pieces. If you've ever seen it before, it's about the size of a cookie. And you know, some people just drop that puck, that little thin puck in, and then they just lather off of that. Since I like to scoop mostly, and it's a cookie, kind of, I cut it up into little evenly divided pieces, and then those get lathered that way. So that's what you see here. And this, I wanted to mention, is the first video in a series of Stirling Soap Company samples that there's this one plus 3 more that I'll have in a row. Different soap / aftershave samples that I got, and I'm going to do videos on that. So this summer, the summer of 2022, I guess you could say, is going to be marked by a Stirling Soap Company series. Boat Drinks is the first of the series. And of course, like I just mentioned, I've got the matching aftershave splash. These are cool. These tiny little, I think like essential oils or something, typically come in these little glass bottles. All in all, this is enough. A sample, which soap is only like $3, $4, and this is $2 or $3. It's enough for like 20 shaves, I would say, if not more. I've shaved a handful of times with this combo, and haven't even put a dent in it. Still have quite a bit. So that's that. As far as the scent goes with Boat Drinks, it's not my favorite. I mean, obviously it's supposed to be tropical, supposed to be kind of like summer, you know. I smell a lot of banana, coconut and banana, but then it's brown. I've read because maybe it's the ingredients. It's like vanilla maybe or something like that. It lathers white, but it is brown. In my mind, I smell chocolate. It looks like chocolate. So it probably doesn't really have any kind of chocolate scent note at all. But since it's brown, my mind thinks chocolate. So I get kind of a chocolate banana scent. Chocolate coconut banana. There's always money in the banana stand.
There's always money in a banana stand.
That's a reference to Arrested Development. So it's okay. It's not my favorite. You know what it really reminds me of? Do you remember those scratch and smell stickers you had when you were a kid? If you're like me, you grew up in the late 80s and the early 90s. Your teacher probably gave you these scratch and smell stickers. And to me, it smells like a scratch and smell sticker, which is a good scent. I'm not saying it's a bad scent, but that's definitely kind of what I get. So that's boat drinks. I know it has a huge following. Some people love boat drinks. I believe it's seasonal. So people, you know, just wait and wait for boat drinks to come out. The only two other things is the razor and the blade. I haven't used this razor in a while. The Fatip Piccolo Storto. And again, that's a open comb slant razor. You would think it would be super aggressive. It's not. It's just kind of middle of the line. It's not super mild, but it doesn't take off a whole layer of skin or anything like that. But and then I'm pairing that with a Rapira first use blade. So should get a pretty good shave out of all of that. Let's go ahead and go down to the lather, and you can see how this new brush performs. So I've got a little bit of water down on top of that soap to kind of soften it. Stirling soaps, they tend to be a little bit harder, I guess. They're not super hard, but they're definitely not a cream by any means, which should actually work perfect because this brush, like I mentioned, is a little bit kind of on the stiffer side, which kind of shocks me. It's got a lot of loft here, and I thought it would be a little more floppy, which it's perfect. It's still good, but it's got a lot of backbone. So, yeah. Anyways, let me go ahead and start to build the lather. Again, using this DS Cosmetic bowl again. There you go. You can still kind of see those purple tips. That's cool. All right. Yeah, I hope everyone had a good Father's Day. I'm trying to get my hand around this. I think we're off to get some ice cream later. I know my daughters are excited about that. A little bit more water. Also planning a FaceTime, a video chat with my parents today, and say hello to my dad. I don't know if you can tell, like one of the hairs, a couple of them have shed, which you can't really, you can see it. A little less common with synthetics, but it happens. I'll get it in a minute. I'll get that other one in a minute. Synthetics don't shed the way natural hair, there we go, boom, pluck it right out. The way natural hair brushes, but I've lost maybe like half a dozen or so of those fibers. I'm gonna go with one more shot of water. All right. I'm very excited because next weekend I'm gonna be camping at a music festival. Gonna be listening to bluegrass and roots music, Americana type music. Yeah. Maybe I'll try to get a camping shave in. We'll see. Okay, I think it's good. Nice consistency there and good performance from this brush. Let's go back up. All right, yeah, like I said, great performance there. Okay, welcome back. Yeah, it definitely performs very well. I'm pleased. I'm pleased with how this turned out. There's another hair that shed. I'm pleased with how this turned out. Like I said, you can kind of see, it's hard to see, a little bit of that epoxy that kind of seeped out. But overall, I think it worked. And I had fun doing it, a little fun DIY project, gluing this knot. And there you go, the purple. The purple's really cool. I live in Wisconsin, not too far from the Twin Cities of Minneapolis and St. Paul, and where Prince obviously had a huge influence. And so I've thought about calling this brush like Purple Shaved or Purple something about Prince, because he liked purple. I remember when Prince passed away, that was a huge deal. I was actually at Paisley Park is where, I'll get started here. Paisley Park is where he recorded his recording studio, which is outside of the Twin Cities. And I actually was at a meeting, at a conference with the National Weather Service, like 3 or 4 days after he died. And which was, their office is right down the street from Paisley Park. And so they told us when we were going to meet at their office, they were like, just a heads up, there's an insane amount of media and fans that have gathered at Paisley Park. So you're gonna have to make your way through a huge crowd. And it was just interesting to be there and see all the people mourning the loss of Prince. Not a huge Prince fan, but I can appreciate the influence he had. Still shedding, it's new. I mean, it's gonna shed some. You know, I mentioned that this brush is kind of stiff and it's hard. I like to do this. I like to really get this action going. And it's a little stiff for that. But still, it was an experiment. It works. Basically what I'm saying is I like a floppier brush. Okay, so that's purple. Purple shaves. Purple shaves. Purple shaves. Prince. I do, like I said, wasn't a huge fan of Prince's music, but I do love music, and I'm going to that bluegrass festival. I've been going to that for a few years. So yeah, I'll definitely, I don't know if I'm going to get a shave in out there at the festival itself. I'll be camping. But I'll at least get some video and share that in my next video. Like I mentioned, it's bluegrass, it's Americana, bluegrass, and screamo death metal. Those are my two favorite types of music. Opposite ends of the spectrum, right? So yeah, there's a rock festival in western Wisconsin called Rock Fest. I've been to that a few times. My wife and I, she actually likes rock music. Maybe not as intense as I do, but her and I have gone. I know we saw Slayer there. We saw Marilyn Manson. We saw, there's a band I really like called Lamb of God. But one year, we saw Insane Clown Posse, or ICP. I feel like I've talked about them in a recent video. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. I can't remember. But ICP, that was interesting. They showered everybody with Faygo. I'm almost certain I've talked about this recently on a video. They showered the audience with cheap soda. Was it another concert years ago where the fans got showered, and it was Guar? Have you heard of Guar? I saw them when I lived in Arkansas. And they showered the whole audience with fake blood. Honestly, it's probably like Kool-Aid or something. It was pretty weak stuff. But they literally just like turned on a hose and sprayed us all with red liquid. That was fun. Had a good Father's Day. Didn't get any shaving gear, but that's totally fine. I get it. My wife probably has a fear of getting like the wrong stuff. She knows I'm very particular. So she's kind of like, just get whatever you want, bro. I do have a trip later this summer planned. And kind of like with my last few shaves, last few times that I've traveled, now they've been for work. I haven't traveled for pleasure in quite some time. But I like to pair, this is a newfound thing that I like to do, pair a new scent with that trip. You can hear my younger daughter kind of starting to fuss. I apologize. But pair a new scent with a new location that I've never been to. And then that will forever remind me of that place. I did that, I think most recently with San Diego, St. Bart's by A&E. So anytime I use St. Bart's soap now, and aftershave, I think about my trip to San Diego, which I had a blast, even though it was actually for work. It was a work trip, but I still had a blast. I mean, it's San Diego. How can you not enjoy tropical weather, right? So our next trip coming up, not quite as exotic. We're going to Nebraska, Omaha. I've actually never been to Nebraska, so we're gonna do that. That's not for a while though, it's much later in the summer. Why Nebraska? Because A, I've never been, and it's centrally located for family around the country. We can all meet there. So that being said, do you guys have any scent suggestions that personify a kind of boring Midwest town? I'm not saying Omaha's boring. I haven't been. It actually looks really cool. I've done some research. It looks like it's going to be a pretty cool place to travel to. A lot of history there. I enjoy that. And breweries. I really like craft beer. It looks like there's a lot of breweries there. So do you guys have a suggestion for a scent? You know what comes to mind? I've never used a soap by 345 Soap, but they have one called Hometown. I can't find it anywhere. I think it was a pretty small release, and I can't really find anyone that has Hometown by 345 in stock. Boy, my daughter's, she's really fussing. I expect my wife to be up here any second to soothe her, if you will. What am I looking for as far as scent goes for this? Nothing tropical. I've kind of got a lot of tropical. And then nothing really cologne-y. Like I've got cologne scented soaps. I'm kind of just looking for fresh, but then also kind of nothing too fancy, because let's face it, Omaha. It's not like it's a tropical paradise or anything. It's funny because my last video was on Ogallala shave soap, Bay Rum shave soap, which is made in Nebraska, Ogallala, Nebraska. So I guess I could have saved that, but again, I want it to be a scent that I've never experienced. I had meant to go more into like what Ogallala means. Ogallala is an aquifer. It's a, like, directly translated, it's a lake or body of water below the ground. I don't know if it's so much a lake, it's more just a deposit of water. But it's huge. The Ogallala aquifer is under like 9 or like 11 states, including like Oklahoma, Texas, Nebraska, Kansas, maybe parts of Colorado, even South Dakota, maybe. I don't know, it's huge. A lot of farmers rely on the Ogallala aquifer for water and like crop irrigation. And from what I've heard, due to kind of overuse and climate change and a bunch of things, it is depleting very quickly. Even though it's like billions of gallons of water, it's getting used up at a faster rate than it's replacing itself. So we'll hopefully make some changes environmentally and slow that process. If any of y'all stuck around long enough for my video last time, you got to see some watercolor painting that I've been doing recently. I hope you enjoyed that. So yeah, my hobbies, because of my young kids, I don't get to go out much right now, or my hobbies include at-home things. Reading. I've always read, though. I've always enjoyed reading. I consider reading a hobby. One of the things I had hoped for Father's Day was the newest book by David Sedaris, which I did get. My wife knows me very well. She knows I like reading his books, and she came through. My daughters also made some lovely art for me. They painted some hearts and did some kind of abstract painting. I love it. They even used watercolors. Great stuff. I love those kids. It was about a year ago that I dislocated my shoulder. Y'all remember that? It was around Father's Day. So far, I'm almost a month through the first month of summer with no injuries. So that's nice. Okay. soap off my shirt. I'll have to look and see if the Mets are playing right now. I feel like they're playing like the Mariners or somebody. And I think they're playing out west. I hate, like, this shows how I'm getting older. I hate West Coast series because then the games don't even start till like 9 o'clock my time. And I can't stay up till midnight or 1 on a weeknight, on a school night. But I've got the MLB Pass. I can stream and watch essentially every baseball game. So that's how I'll spend my afternoon if I can. Might grill out this afternoon. Basically, today's Father's Day. This video won't get published until a few days from now, but I'm going to enjoy my Father's Day. I hope you guys all had a good Father's Day. Let's go with the aftershave real quick. The aftershave, it's been a while since I've used it. I'd almost say more banana forward. Really, I'm getting that banana. I don't have the greatest nose though. It's definitely sweet and it smells like a tropical drink. I'll have to ask my wife if she likes it. I don't know if she's even really smelled. I've only used it a couple of times. Bubblegum. I'm almost getting like a bubblegum scent. Kind of smells like a blow pop. Do you remember blow pops? So not bad. It's just, you know, just know that. I guess I'll go listen to some Jimmy Buffett now. That's what I'm assuming that's what the reference is. Boat Drinks is a song by Jimmy Buffett. I have an uncle that's he's a parrot head. Parrot head is a person that's obsessed with Jimmy Buffett. He's seen him in concert a whole bunch. I'd like to live in one of those Margaritaville old folks estates, right? But anyways, there you go. Stirling Soap Company Boat Drinks. And I'll show the brush one more time. There you go. There's the brush. Rinse it off just a bit. Yeah, those purple shaves. That's what I'm thinking. Let me know. Let me know if you guys think of a better name that I can give this purple brush. Prince. Some sort of Prince pun, right? Prince and shaving pun. Anyways, thank you guys so much. Hope you had a great Father's Day. And I'll see you real soon.